Welcome back to AF Tales. This story is about the moment a man watched his girlfriend grind her heel into the handmade gift he spent 3 months creating while saying, "This is trash." A real man would have bought the $2,800 Gucci bag. As you listen, think about the point where you would have walked away. My girlfriend said, "A real man buys Gucci." I replied, "Pack your stuff." Then I stopped arguing, documented every lie, talked to a lawyer, and I just watched as her cheating, her office image, and her Gucci dreams all fell apart around her. My name is Tyler. I am 26 and work as a graphic designer. I make decent money, not rich, not broke, just normal. My girlfriend, Madison, is 24. We have been together for about 2.5 years and moved into an apartment together 8 months ago. Both our names are on the lease. I really thought we were building a life together. On weekends, I have this woodworking hobby. I work out of my friend Oliver's garage because our apartment is too small for tools. I am not a professional, but I love it. After a week of staring at a screen, working with real wood is peaceful. Madison's birthday was coming up. For weeks, she had been talking about a Gucci Marmont bag, $2,800. I checked my bank account more than once, like the numbers might magically change. They did not. That bag was about half my monthly take-home pay. So 3 months before her birthday, I made a decision. I could not buy the bag, but I could make something special. I bought a beautiful piece of walnut and designed a jewelry box. Not just a simple box. I sketched out a lid with her name hand carved into it. I planned a hidden compartment with a small release mechanism. I lined the inside with red velvet that I stitched by hand. I watched dozens of videos on joinery. I stayed late at Oliver's garage on weekends, my fingers cut up from chisels and sandpaper, my thumb bruised from the hammer. Oliver teased me about being whipped, but he kept bringing me beer and looking impressed. The box ended up about 10 by 8 inches. The grain was gorgeous. The hidden compartment was seamless. There was a tiny gap on one corner that bothered me, but overall I was proud. It was imperfect, but it was mine, and it was made for her. Sometimes the most meaningful gifts are the ones that cost time, not money. That is also where mismatch in values starts to show. Her birthday came. I took Madison to a nice Italian place she likes. Not fine dining, but not cheap either. We came home and I gave her the box. I explained how long I had been working on it. I showed her the hidden compartment. I pointed out her name carved into the lid. She stared at it for a moment and said, "This is it. Where is the real present?" I laughed because I thought she was joking. "I spent 3 months on this," I said. "It is walnut and the mechanism alone took me." "I do not care about wood, Tyler," she cut in. Her voice was cold. "I wanted the Gucci bag. Everyone at work has designer bags except me." My stomach dropped. "Madison, that bag costs." "I know what it costs," she snapped. "Ashton just bought his girlfriend a Cartier bracelet, and they have only been dating 6 months. Ashton, the coworker she talked about all the time. That is his money to spend," I said, trying to stay calm. "I put my heart into this gift." "Your heart," she laughed, but there was no humor in it. "This is embarrassing. I cannot show this to anyone." This was the first clear sign that the relationship was not about us anymore. It was about image. We started arguing about money. She called me cheap and unambitious, said I was holding her back from the lifestyle she deserved. Then she said the line that felt like a punch. My ex would have gotten me what I actually wanted. Before I could answer, she swept the jewelry box off the table. It hit the hardwood floor. The corner shattered. The lid popped off. The hidden compartment mechanism broke. Pieces of the carving splintered. 3 months of work destroyed in 1 second, I thought, watching the pieces. "I cannot show this to anyone," she said, looking at the broken wood. "It looks like something from a thrift store." I just sat there, stunned. She kept going. She talked about Ashton again, how he pays for everything, how he has ambition, how he understands what women need. When I tried to defend myself, she cut me off. "If you really cared about me, you would understand I have an image to maintain at work." Then she went to the bedroom and slammed the door. I heard her on the phone, laughing with someone. Yeah, he got me some wooden thing, so embarrassing. I sat on the couch, staring at the broken box. All those weekends, the cuts on my fingers, the pride I felt when the hidden compartment finally worked. I had imagined her smiling, not grinding it under her heel. The next morning, she left early for brunch with work friends without saying a word. When she came back around 2 in the afternoon, I noticed the broken box was gone from the coffee table. "Where is the box?" I asked. "I threw it away," she said, not looking up from her phone. It was just sitting there reminding me of my disappointment. My hands started shaking. "You threw it away, Madison. I spent 3 months. Are you still on about that?" she said. "If you really loved me, you would understand. I have an image to maintain at work. Do you know what it feels like to be the only woman without a designer bag?" I wanted to remind her that half her expensive things were bought by her parents, but I stayed quiet. She went to the bedroom and started FaceTiming someone, laughing like nothing was wrong. Later, I was scrolling Instagram, trying to distract myself when I saw her brunch story. She had tagged a bunch of people. There was Ashton, sitting right beside her. His arm rested along the back of her chair. In one photo, their heads were touching as they looked at a phone together. The comments said things like, "Cutest couple. You two are adorable. Ashton, you better treat her right." Madison had not corrected anyone. I took screenshots and texted her. "Who is Ashton to you?" She read it. No reply. The next morning, my phone rang. It was Oliver. "Dude," he said, "I found your jewelry box." "What?" "I was dropping off some lumber at your place and saw it in the dumpster." "It is worse than broken. It looks like someone stomped on it." I ran downstairs. Oliver was waiting with a trash bag. Inside was the box, but not the way I left it. The sides were caved in. The carving was crushed, the velvet lining torn out. "She did this on purpose," Oliver said quietly. "Nobody just tosses something and it ends up like this." We took it upstairs. Madison was getting ready for work, doing her makeup. "Why did you stomp on my jewelry box before throwing it away?" I asked. She spun around. "Excuse me." "Oliver found it in the dumpster." "It is completely destroyed. You did not just throw it away, you demolished it." "I do not know what you are talking about," she said. "Maybe the garbage truck did it." "And what is going on with Ashton?" Her expression shifted, defensive. "He is just a friend." "You are being insecure." "Then why did you not correct people calling you a couple?" "It is just jokes. You are so sensitive. I do not have time for this. Some of us have actual jobs to get to." That one hurt because I had taken personal time already to deal with everything. "We need to talk," I said. "About what?" "About how you are jealous of a man who has his life together, about how you cannot provide like a real man should." The words hung between us. "What happened to you?" I asked quietly. "You used to love that I made things with my hands." "I used to think it was cute," she said. "Now I see you waste weekends playing with wood while Ashton is out building his career. Do you know what he makes? Do you know what kind of car he drives? So this is about money." "This is about ambition," she snapped. "I should not have to split rent 50-50 like a broke college student. My family has money. I am not supposed to be living like this." "It was your idea to split everything equally," I reminded her. "Well, I changed my mind. Ashton pays for everything for his girlfriend. He takes her to nice restaurants and buys her jewelry from real stores. Not," she waved at the crushed box, "garage projects that look homeless." In that moment, something inside me cracked that had nothing to do with wood. It was the belief that we were on the same team. Later that day, my phone buzzed. "Staying at a friend's tonight, we need a break," I texted back. "Which friend?" No answer. At this point, the relationship was already over. I was just the last one to admit it. I did not sleep much. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw Ashton's arm around her chair and heard her voice calling my work trash. People in my life told me to check Ashton's social media. I finally did. One night around 2 in the morning, Ashton posted an Instagram story. "Hotel breakfast spread, city skyline, caption, best way to start the morning, nice view." I almost scrolled past until I saw the reflection in the window. The glass showed part of the room and a table. Sitting at that table was Madison. She was wearing a blue robe. Hair messy, laughing at something. The timestamp was 20 minutes old. I took screenshots. Then I screen recorded the story. 10 minutes later, it vanished. At 11 in the morning, Madison walked into the apartment with her usual Starbucks in hand, fake cheerful. "Hey," she said, feeling better. I sat on the couch with my laptop open. "Where were you staying?" I asked. "I told you, at a friend's." I turned the laptop around and showed her the screenshot, the hotel breakfast, the reflection, her in the robe. Her face went white. "It is not what it looks like," she said. "Then explain what I am looking at. You had breakfast as friends in a hotel room at 2 in the morning, in a robe." She hesitated, trying to calculate what I knew. "Okay, we have been getting closer," she said. "He gets me in a way you do not." "How long have you been seeing him?" I asked. "And please do not use the word maybe." She flinched. "We kissed once after work, but stop lying." "Fine, we have been on dates, but nothing physical until last week." "Once." Silence. "How many times?" I asked. "I lost count," she whispered. "How long?" 2 months. 2 months, while I was building her jewelry box, while I was carving her name into wood. "That is why you destroyed it," I said. "You were planning to leave me for him. He dumped you. So you stomped on my gift because you were mad at him." Her expression told me I was right before she said a word. "Ashton promised to take care of me financially," she said. "He said I deserved more." "Oliver has a friend in your office," I replied. "He says Ashton is dating 3 other women. You are not even his main girlfriend." I showed her screenshots. Her face broke. "Pack your things," I said quietly. "Please," she cried. "Ashton blocked me this morning when I said I would leave you for him. I have nowhere to go." "You have parents," I said. "You have money and options. I made a mistake." "You made dozens of choices," I answered. "Every time you texted him, met him, lied about me, laughed at my gift. Those were not mistakes. They were decisions." An hour later, her parents arrived. As they helped her carry bags, I heard Madison telling her mother, "Tyler has trust issues." I went to my room and closed the door. After they left, I walked through the apartment. It felt bigger, quieter. Her decorative pillows were gone, her candles, her photos. The coffee table where the jewelry box had landed was empty. I put the broken box, still in a trash bag, in my closet. I could not throw it out. I also could not look at it. Sometimes the hardest part of leaving is accepting that the person you loved is also the person who did the damage. With Madison gone, I talked to a lawyer about the lease. People online and in my life were blunt. Her name was on the lease. She was legally responsible for half the rent. $300 for a consultation bought me clarity. My lawyer sent her a formal letter. Either she paid her share until the lease ended, or we pursued legal action. Her parents wrote me a check for the whole 4 months within a week. I think they just wanted the problem to disappear. With the rent issue settled, Oliver introduced me to a potential roommate. Jake, 28, works in construction, quiet, pays his bills. He moved in and honestly, the apartment felt calmer than it had in months. The jewelry box still sat in my closet until one day, I took it to a woodworking shop where I sometimes bought supplies. The owner, Mr. Palmer, is an older man who has been doing this for 40 years. I set the destroyed box on his workbench and told him the story. He studied it for a long time. "Someone really hated you to break this like that," he said. "Turns out she hates herself more," I said. He asked if I wanted him to try and restore it. He said it would never be perfect. The carving was too damaged. Some joints would never be the same, but he could maybe bring it back to 70%. I said yes. 3 weeks later, I picked it up. It was not the same box. You could see where new wood patched the crushed edges. Some lines were slightly off, but it was beautiful in a new way. It looked like something that had been through a fire and survived. Mr. Palmer refused full payment. "You already paid enough," he said. "Now the box sits in my room. I use it to store tools and small parts. When I look at it, I do not think about Madison. I think about the work. about the fact that we took something broken and decided it was still worth saving. Healing is rarely a return to how things were. It is often a new shape with visible scars. Through Madison's younger sister, Olivia, I heard the rest. Ashton's story did not end with him walking away from her. He had been embezzling money from their company, using corporate funds to pay for all those flashy dates, hotels, and gifts. He got fired and is now facing charges. His father, a big name at the company, ended up in a nepotism scandal. Madison was asked to resign because of the drama around her involvement and the chaos it caused in the office. She went from bragging about her lifestyle to posting vague stories about fake people and knowing your worth. Olivia said Madison tried to contact me several times. Apologies, regrets, late realizations about the jewelry box. I had her blocked everywhere. It was not about punishment. It was about peace. I started taking small commissions. A cutting board for Oliver's sister, a side table for Jake's girlfriend, a phone stand for a coworker. Nothing major, but an extra $400 to $600 a month helped, and each project reminded me that my skills had value. I am not dating anyone. I am not rushing to. Right now, I am focused on work, woodworking, and the quiet. 2 weeks ago, I saw Madison at the grocery store. She looked tired, not in a cruel way, just like life had finally caught up with her. "Tyler," she said, "I am so sorry about everything. I was stupid and selfish, and I appreciate the apology." "I have moved on," I said, gently but firm. "That box you made was actually really beautiful," she added. "I wish I had not." "Me too," I said. "Take care, Madison." I paid for my groceries and walked out. I did not look back. The lease ends in 3 weeks. Jake and I found a new place. 2 bedrooms, cheaper rent. A real garage we can turn into a proper workshop. Papers are ready. New chapter. The restored jewelry box sits on my dresser in the new layout I am planning. Every time I look at it, I remember 3 things. First, I took raw materials and turned them into something meaningful. Second, even after someone stomped on it, it was still worth repairing. Third, damage does not mean something is worthless. That applies to wood. It applies to people too. Lesson 1: when someone values brand names more than your effort, believe what they show you, not what they say. Lesson 2: comparing partners to other people and using money as a measure of love is not high standards. It is emotional corrosion. Lesson 3: cheating is not a mistake. It is a series of choices made in secret and justified later. Lesson 4: protecting your dignity with clear boundaries is not cruel. It is how you keep your self-respect. Lesson 5: having something you created destroyed does not mean you lose your ability to create again. The skill and the heart stay with you. Lesson 6: scars, whether in wood or in people, do not remove value. Sometimes they are proof of strength. What about you? At what point in this story would you have decided to leave? And have you ever put your whole heart into a gift or a relationship, only to watch someone treat it like trash? Share your thoughts in the comments.